Hello everyone, my name is Noman Today I will present on a management communication issue we have in every single workplace. I'll discuss how leaders can encourage effective listening. We are living in a very advanced society today. In 21st century is known as the communication era. Since we are so advanced in technology nowadays, communication has become so easy. But we are still losing our listening. According to the US National Library and Medicine and National Institute of Health, almost 95% of Americans own cell phones and 77% own smartphones. Around the world, smartphone users is 2.3 billion in 2017 and 2.87 billion in 2020. The use of cell phone has become so high that no one even has time to look up from their screen. Because of cell phones, laptops, we are texting and emailing so much nowadays that there is a lot of communication going on. But what about the listening? How good are we listening nowadays? So how does this relate to us? This topic relates to a management communication issue. If we can't even retain 25% of the information we hear, how employees can perform their duties effectively. All the employees need to effectively listen to their managers to make sure they get their accurate information. In a very old saying, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, because we are supposed to listen twice as much we are supposed to speak. Effective listening needs to be promoted and role model to employees. It needs to start out from lower level managers and roll up to the CEO. Managers need to listen to the employees, and Mahatma Gandhi mentioned, be the changes you wish to see in the world. So what can managers do? According to Margaret Zhu, publisher in Mindful Organization, she mentions some attributes of good listening skills. Managers need to maintain eye contact while they're listening. They also need to attentive during the conversation. They should have open-minded and listen to the story without any previous bias. Most importantly, manager cannot interrupt while employees talking. While the conversation is going on, to show interest, they should nod or smile. Finally, to make sure a manager understood everything, they should ask a question for certification. They can say something like, do you mean this? Or repeat that question again. Julian Treasure mentioned in his TED Talk, live to listen. And he also mentioned that we all need to listen in order to live a life fully. It also allows us to connect better with the physical and the spiritual world. Also, Alexander Young wrote in the article, How to Improve Your Leadership Skills. It's through listening. Listening also employs to give feedback to manager. Some of the benefits to effective listening is that it increases productivity, it increases sense of community, increased teamwork. People feel like they are being understood, and finally they feel connected at work. They will make a person feel better mentally and emotionally at workplace. So this is a video on how great leaders use effective listening.
Casey, and I want to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects in the whole world, and it's leadership. What makes a good leader is the use of effective management skills, such as spending 50% or more of their time listening carefully. Great leaders understand that some of the best leadership qualities entail listening to others with undivided attention. When was the last time you actually listened single-mindedly to one of your staff members? Can you remember when you last listened to someone without interruptions or distractions from either telephone calls or drop-in visitors, when you just focused intently on the person speaking with you, ignoring everything else? When CEO Alan Mulally arrived at Ford, he used a technique he had refined at Boeing. He found a way to instantly shift the senior executives on his team from talkers to listeners by changing the way he evaluated his team's performance. It always comes down to incentives. What's the incentive for someone to behave differently? Is it recognition, or time, or more money? No, it's usually visibility, is what he said. He went on. He said, when you give a speech, you'll be scored by the audience, he told his team. So those executives who were smart enough to leave lots of time for Q&A got better grades than those who lectured. And those managers who encouraged a dialogue with the team came out on top.
That was in the video. For all of us who want to be a great leader one day, make sure you listen. Now thank you for everyone for listening to my presentation.